everyone. I wanted to give you an update on what we are doing in math this coming week. So we have just rounded out some multiplication work, and now we're going to start talking about how that relates to division as we start to dive into that. So this week we're going to be working on how multiplication and division are related, very similar to fact families with addition and subtraction. And we're also going to start to divide by 2 or halving and divide by 3. Okay, so this week I'm going to be teaching your children a lot of different strategies for how they can solve these problems. We won't be doing just one way, we will be doing multiple ways. And I wanted to show you how we do all of these so you have a really good idea. So the first one that I'm going to do is teach you using a fact family, okay? And we use triangles to do this. So very similar with addition and subtraction. If you have 4 plus 4 equals 8, 8 minus 4 equals 4. So those are our fact families. We also have that for multiplication and division. So if we look at this triangle, we use these a lot in school for multiplication, and we're going to continue using them for division. If I look at this, I know that 8 times 2 equals 16. Now, if I want to start to relate this to division, I'm going to use these, but covering up one of my corners, not my top this time. And I'm going to say 16 divided by 2 is what? And we're going to see if we can remember our multiplication facts. So it's like solving for an unknown. Question mark times 2 equals 16, or 16 divided by 2 equals 8. All right, so these are a really good skill to use with your student as we're working through homework, is talking about how it relates to the multiplication equation. These are really quick and easy to make even on some paper. You can just cut the corner right off of a piece of paper. All right, so the next way we're going to talk about it is by doing whole and part and part. Okay, so these are called bar models, and we use these a lot in class. So we use these a lot for multiplication, and we're going to start to use them for division too. Okay, so we know that this and this together give us our whole. All right, if we look here, I've applied it to the same equation. We know that 8 plus 8 equals 16, or I have two groups of 8 equal that 16, all right? So this is halved. If I half that number 16, I have two groups of 8, all right? So these are the two that I would count. 2 times 8 equals my 16. Now, if we were to do that in groups of 3, all right? So we're going to use the number 12 as my whole this time. I have 3 groups of 4. I broke that 12 down into 3 equal groups. All of these numbers need to be the same number. Added together or repeated addition should equal 12. Added together or repeat addition will equal 16. If we want to relate it to multiplication, we know that if I have 3 groups of 4, 3 times 4 is 12. Now, how we can use this as division is if these are left blank, all right? So if I have 12, if I have 16 and I have it in 2 blank groups, I need to half this. Something we use a lot is counters in school. I know you might not have counters at home, but anything would work. You could use M&Ms, you could use Cheerios. I know with my daughter, I use M&Ms a lot of the time, and if she gets it right, we get to eat some. So it's a real good incentive, and anytime they can manipulate and play with these numbers, it really helps them see it. So this is how when we are using bar models. So this is a different strategy we're going to use. Now, another way we can think about it is drawing pictures, or again, using the counters and separating into equal groups. So if, again, I have the equation 16 divided by 2, I would make my 16 dots in groups of 2. So how I have the students do these is draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, okay? They know they need to make them in little groups of 2 when they're drawing it out. Now, after they have done that and they get to 16, or their dividend, they are going to circle the 2 equal groups. Once they've done that, they can count how many are in those equal groups. And if we look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So that's another strategy we're using. All of these are great ways to do it. Next is, you might remember from multiplication, but we have skip counting or repeated addition, all right? So again, this time we know we're going up by 2s to get to 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. How many groups do I have here? I have 8. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8, all right? So when relating it more to division, we have repeated subtraction instead of repeated addition. So we would start at 16 and go back our 2. 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2. So these are a lot of different strategies we are using right now. Something I would encourage you to do with your student when they are doing their problems at home for homework or studying for a test is ask them, what strategy are you using and why are you choosing that one? The reason we're teaching so many of these strategies is because all of our brains work so differently, and one strategy might work really well for another one and might work differently for me. And so knowing them all really helps them play and manipulate these numbers and gives them great fluency. Feel free to email me or call with any questions. Good luck.